Welcome to the Phoenix 2 podcast. I'm Network 2501.
And I'm Synergy, and we are both players of Phoenix 2. The purpose of the Phoenix 2 podcast is to provide tips and tricks, gameplay mechanics, and suggestions you can follow to make yourself a better player. Now, this is the episode 1 of our podcast, so it seems reasonable to only outline the very foundational aspects of the game and just lay the groundwork for what's to come. So I pass it over to Network, just go over the content of what we're going to be talking about today.
Certainly. The very first thing I think we should touch on is what type of game is Phoenix 2. And Phoenix 2 is a shoot 'em up, also known as a shmup or bullet hell. This particular one is a top-down view shooter where you control a ship where you have to fight off invaders. You get a weapon, a main weapon, an aura, and a zen. And each of those work in different ways that we're going to expand on in future episodes of the show.
Yeah, and by destroying invaders, you complete missions. And by completing missions, you earn credits, which you use to upgrade more ships or to buy more ships. And there are over 75 different ships in the game, so there's a very vast selection of what we can use to succeed.
Yes, and this one is a Japanese-style shmup or bullet hell. And the thing that makes it that particular style is your ship. The only part of it that a bullet can actually hurt you is the reactor. And the reactor is a tiny little glowing dot in your ship. So every time you move, you can move between really tight spaces between bullets, which Sis is quite good at.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if your wings get hit or any part of your ship other than the reactor gets hit. It's okay. You won't take damage, but if your reactor does get hit, then unfortunately you are going to take damage. And in this game, there isn't a health bar, so if your reactor gets hit even once, it will unfortunately blow up. But it's okay because the whole purpose of this podcast is to make sure that you don't blow up by following the correct strategies and playing the game well.
Very true. A part of that is understanding how to use your ship. And this game in particular, some people might use a stylus. When you're first starting out, you're probably going to be using your thumb or your finger. Now to shoot, you're going to touch the screen. And to use your aura, you're going to put 2 fingers on the screen. Any way you feel comfortable, 2 thumbs, 2 fingers, a thumb and a finger, whatever feels right.
A nose, a foot, or something.
Yeah. And the other thing that we mentioned was a zen. Now, most of the time, you activate that by releasing your finger from the screen and then touching the screen again. And again, we're going to expand on this so you understand all the zens because there's multiple types in future episodes. But the game is really fun because it has multiple types of zens, it has multiple types of auras, it has, as Sis mentioned, over 75 ships. And
there's a very, very vast array of synergies and abilities that you can use in sort of different combinations to give you the best chance at defeating the invaders. And different ships have different assets that benefit them. Some are better than others, but most of them have distinct playstyles, unique. It's very interesting.
So true. So very true. And we love this game, which is why we want to share with you all of that and more. And we want to hear from you what you want to hear on the show as well. But until then, we've got some really great episodes that we're planning. We've already got some ideas from people on the Discord, which we want you to be a part of. You can find Sis and I on the community locations like Reddit. Reddit's a really good place to get information and share info. And there's also the community Discord. And all of these locations will be links in the description. So you can find both of us in the Discord and on Reddit.
Yes, and we're active most of the time. So, and even if we aren't, there's usually someone else that's quite experienced that can help you out. But yeah, so the foundational basics of Phoenix 2 is just you control a ship, you defeat the enemy, and as a result, you gain money and use that to upgrade more ships. That's basically what it's about. The game is also split into different difficulty levels. So unlike some shmups where once you beat the enemy at the end, it recycles the mission, but it's just a harder variant. In Phoenix 2, what you have is a league system. It goes from the D League to SSSS, or we commonly called S4 for the sake of convenience. From in future episodes, I think we just refer to it as S4, and we will give we will give more information about the leagues as we go on. But yeah, if you complete the mission, you move up, and it becomes more difficult, and the best players are in S4 league,
where you can get a medal. By the way, some players have got multiple medals, where you get the best of the best medal, which is really quite a prestigious thing. Not many people can get them. It's really the skill ceiling is quite high, and people are still learning to this day tips and tricks that we're sharing on Discord and on Reddit, and we want to share them with you here on this podcast.
And most certainly, we will, both of us as well, keep learning as time goes on. And if there's any new information we want to discuss, we'll definitely bring it up and see what we can do to help you.
So for now, that's the first Welcome to the Phoenix podcast. We're going to have more. The next one's going to be getting to know your ships. We will talk about more of the ship types, the different styles of weapons, the auras, the Zens in detail. The next episode after that, we're going to be picking what's the best ship for you. If you're brand new to this game, perhaps you don't know where to put your credits that you're earning from completing missions, we're going to suggest some ships for you, so stay tuned for that one. That's going to be a really good episode.
Yeah, and most certainly, if you have any suggestions, just pop them down in the comments or find us on Discord or Reddit, and yeah, we'll see what we can do about that.
Until then, until the next show, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
Watch out for show 2, where we will have an even better outro.
Yeah, we're still working on the outro, but it's okay. We'll get better as time goes on.